Hey y'all, I'm back. Yes, listen, I'm super excited about what we're gonna talk about today, and because we're gonna keep it simple, we're gonna keep it moving, keep it simple. So, I got a story. I got a story. I got a story. I got a story. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this story. Or how y'all gonna think about me after this story, but it doesn't matter because I feel like to share it, right? And you see in the title, this what we're going to talk about is life could be more simple when, right? Life could be more simple when, right? And so I told y'all in my intro that I do work a 9 to 5. So I get a lot of experience working this 9 to 5, right? Working this 9 to 5 could be like, it could be a whole Bible. It can be a whole Bible. Does anybody feel like that? Or is it just me? Okay. Um, so I had a situation where my coworker and I something happened, and I think the internet went down or something like that, and I was trying to use an outside source like my personal computer to figure things out and get things done. But there was one thing that I couldn't do on my personal computer because it was my personal computer and not connected to the network of my job, right? And so, excuse me, when I'm going through the motions, and when I tell you it's taking forever to figure things out, I call the help desk. And if anybody has experience with talking to the help desk at your job, y'all, y'all already know they ain't that helpful because they don't even know themselves, y'all. That they need another name. Help desk ain't it. Figure it out desk. That's what it is. Figure it out because they figuring it out along with you. Okay. But anywho, so I'm on the phone with the help desk, and I'm on the phone with help desk like at minimum hour and a half. If y'all know me, I'm big on time. Like, oh my gosh, please don't waste my time and don't play with my time. Okay. And so I'm on the phone with them for a long time. And finally, like in my mind, I think I done started figuring out, okay, Jessica, you may not can do this because, or use your computer in this way for this specific thing if, because it's your personal computer. And so, y'all, they finally say what I think they about to say at the end. I wish I could have figured it out earlier than that. But I get off the phone, and I was so irritated because of I didn't talk to three people at this point. I'd have been on the phone hour and a half, and the system is still down. The system's still down. So I don't have a way to do my job, right? And so my coworker was sitting there, and they were watching me the whole time, listening to me the whole time. And it's just me and them. And they stated that, yeah, I knew you couldn't do it. You weren't going to be able to do that. Um, and I was like, well, why wouldn't you tell me that I couldn't do it? Why would you allow me to stay on the phone with help desk for this amount of time and not tell me that I couldn't do it? And their response just like blew me out the water. Okay. They said, well, you know how you like to figure things out. Y'all, for the initial reaction was like frustration, right? I was initially frustrated because I'm like, why wouldn't you just want to help me in that moment, right? Why wouldn't you want why would you want me to go through all of that? Ooh, this is already getting good. Why would you put me in a position where I wasted my time if you already knew the answer? And so fast forward, it frustrated me so good, but I didn't want to come off as angry, right? Because I was really confused. I was really like asking questions more about myself in that moment. Like, well, not in that moment, but afterwards, like just dwelling on it and thinking about what they said. I was like, well, why would they feel like they couldn't help me in that moment, right? And so, I was able to talk to them afterwards. It was probably a week or so later, and I was able to talk to them afterwards, and I was trying to understand why they would do that or they would say anything. And the consensus was that I was strong, right? That when I was working, it was I'm in the zone when I'm working. I'm strong, and they soon realized it's like, okay, she is not just strong. She in some cases she's had to figure things out, right? But from my side, my point of view, what I understood was, hey, Jessica, if you would have asked me, I would have gave you the answer. Sometimes people want to know that you're willing to be helped, y'all. A lot of times we'll like, and I'm gonna speak for me. I'm gonna speak for me. I'm gonna speak for me because they are probably not the first person that have thought that, but been the first person that has given me the the feedback that I needed to understand that, hey, Jessica, you come off as I got it all together. You come off as if you don't know, you gonna be the one that figures it out. You come off as whatever, right? And in my mind, I'm gonna tell you this. In my mind, I think there needs to be a balance, right? Because there's gonna be some things that you're gonna have to figure out, or we're gonna have to figure out on our own. Like everybody can't do each other's life, and that's just on period. Like I can't operate in your life or your lane, and you can't operate in mine. So there's gonna be some things that the good Lord allows us to figure out on our own. But really experience on our own so that way we're able to process and teach others, right? However, God didn't create us to be alone, so that means that we don't have to figure out things alone. Watch this. This is so good. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Imagine if I was treating my coworker like that or interacting with my coworker like that, how I interact with Holy Spirit, how I interact with God. What? Like, you mean to tell me that the all-knowing God, the all the omniscient, that's the word, omniscient God that I believe in, I choose not to ask? Y'all, like that right now as I'm talking to you, I'm having revelation. That doesn't make sense. That does not make sense. So if I'm really believing, right? If I'm really believing in him, and I know I state out of my mouth that he is all knowing, all knowing. He has all wisdom, all power. I'm still trying to figure it out. Y'all, that doesn't make sense. I don't know about you, but that doesn't make sense, right? And so think about how that translates to people. Like I'm a leader. I'm a leader. I can't be. Yeah, it's a form of. Listen, let me back up. We're taught in the world, especially when we're leaders, that we have to know everything. But how do you know? How do you know? Because somebody, you get the information from somewhere, and that person got the information from somewhere, and that person got the information somewhere. Somebody had the experience, but everything don't have to be experienced. Sometimes we can just pass down a little wisdom. Okay. And I think that, and I'm gonna say we, because if you're in this community, you can identify. You could possibly identify with this, right? We try to figure things out and then get mad. Oh, y'all, get upset when people don't want to help us. But the door is not open to receive, right? There's a few things that come up when we are I'm going to figure it out, right? And I'm not, let me repeat myself. I'm not saying this is bad because I'm that person, right? But it can be unhealthy in times, right? It can be unhealthy and dilute community. That's good. It could dilute the community that you're a part of because you're always the one that's figuring it out, right? Instead of saying, "Hey, can you help me? Can you help me with this?" And so there's a few things that come up, and it shows a reflection of it can reflect in pride, right? Like, girl, can't nobody tell you nothing. Got my dude know everything, right? My guy knows everything. It can reflect in seeming like you're not postured to receive. Like, how is it? And this, oh my gosh, I'm having so much good revelation right now. How is it that we can say, God, I want this, right? God, I desire this, but not be postured to receive, right? And so with me being a giver, all of this is connected. With me being a giver, I identify as a giver, but do I identify as a receiver because I'm used to figuring out how to give? I'm always in a posture to give. I'm always in a posture. This is me misfigure it out. I'm always in a posture to give, but I'm frustrated when I don't receive. But am I in a posture to receive? Right? Have I opened myself up and healed in certain areas so that I may receive from people, receive from God, right? And the reason why I'm not receiving is because people really don't think that there's a need. Y'all, this is so good. People really don't think that there's a need. Even in the Bible, it tells you, I think it's Matthew 7:7, where Jesus says, ask and it shall be given. But the prerequisite of it being given is you asking. Is you asking. And then we sit here and like, woe is me, but you never asked. Y'all, when I say you right now, I am talking to Jessica. I am talking to Jessica S. Smith. You never asked, right? And so you become bitter. You become prideful. You become the independent black woman. Oh my God. And if y'all can't see me, I'm black. Y'all might hear it in my tone, in my dialect, or whatever. Y'all could have guessed it. You know, you're 100% right. I am African American. But yes, like that's where you get all of these um stipulations and guards, there we go, and walls put up because you've experienced something because you haven't opened your mouth, right? And I am a living testimony of that. Like I am a living testimony. You can have some powerful testimonies. They can be good or bad. This is one of the ones that I had to learn from. And it wasn't until that moment with my coworker where where I had the opportunity to reflect on why would they say that to me, right? Why would they say that to me? And I'm grateful. Like I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful. It hurt. Oh my gosh, it hurt so bad to hear that. It hurt so bad to like hear in the tone. Oh my gosh. The tone of the matter. It wasn't just like, oh, you know how you like to figure things out. It's like, no, you know how you like to figure things out. Oh, okay. Oh. They might listen to this. I'll talk to them about it later. It is what it is. But it was a good lesson for me, right? It was a good lesson for me. Even when you think about the Bible, where Jesus was um doing the miracles, right? He was performing miracles. He would ask people a question, right? He would ask them if they were ready. He would basically ask permission to do what he needed to do. This is so good. To do what he needed to do for that person to be delivered, for that person to be healed, for that person to get to their next level. And it required a response, right? So on reverse, if I'm asking God something, his word cannot come back void. So his word says, when I ask, there's a response that I'm going to get. It's not if I'm gonna get it, it's not, oh, maybe I'll get it. It's you shall get a response. Right? Now the when, that's where we get frustrated. The when it is not happening fast enough for us or whatever. But the if is not even a question, because it says in the word that it shall be given. And so we got to be confident in that. We got to be confident knowing that we don't look a certain way, or we're not belittled when we're asking, even if we're smart, intelligent, or whatever. I got a little sense. I got a little sense. But I'm here to tell you guys today that I do not know it all. I don't. You can tell yourself, look in the mirror, you don't know it all. And it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask. So that's why this podcast is called Just Ask. We're gonna ask people questions. We're gonna have people, and they might not be quote unquote experts in the field. They may just have experience, right? We're gonna ask for perspective. We're gonna ask, and we're not going to get frustrated, right? Because we didn't know that, because we had the opportunity to ask. It's an opportunity to ask, right? I done got to a point now where, thank you, Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit just said, sometimes people don't ask because of their lack of trust, right? So your lack of asking has everything to do, or something to do, with your inability to trust people, and probably God, right? And so now, yeah, we gonna dig deep, right? It's simple. We're gonna dig deep, but you can simply dig deep, right? Because this is getting me, like, in what areas do I not trust God? In what areas am I not asking God for things because I lack the boldness to ask, right? So there's a lack of boldness, a lack of trust, right? A lack of seeing yourself in the image of God. Because if I'm in the image of God and I was created and I'm royalty, I'm set apart. Ooh, fill me up, Lord. I'm set apart. Why wouldn't I ask if I knew I had the access? Y'all, wait. Now that the whole access thing is, I'm gonna put a pin in that. We're gonna put a pin in it. We're gonna put a pin in that, because we can talk about the ignorance of access, because I just realized my ignorance of my access. So you guys, all right, we talked about this. Tell me how y'all feeling. Like, tell me if you with me or not. Do you have this issue? Do you try to figure everything out? Like, what's your storyline? Like, talk back to me. Y'all not gonna leave me out here by myself, because I know y'all don't be asking for stuff because y'all don't want to be embarrassed, or y'all don't want to feel those type of ways. So y'all comment, DM me, let me know, like, if you have this issue. But understand that this issue doesn't have to be an issue anymore. That we can decide today that we're going to ask, we're going to use our community that God put on this earth, right? We're going to use our community. We're not going to be prideful. We're going to start trusting, right? We're going to open ourselves up. And if you don't trust, we're going to have an episode about that. My girl, I'm going to say it on this episode, Brianka E. Hardy, Yes, I can't wait to have her on here. I cannot wait to have her on here. She gonna deal with us. I know she got the teeth for healing. Okay? She got the cup of tea for healing. So we're gonna dig deep. Stay with me, okay? So we just gonna this is our saying every time. So we can remind ourselves. Life could be more simple if we just ask. I'll see you guys later.